week 15 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few wide receivers I have as sleepers this week. The first receiver, Kayshon Boutte of the New England Patriots. He's out there in 71% of fantasy leagues, and he's been a touchdown-dependent wide receiver all season long. We know Drake May, he's a quarterback that spreads that football around all over the field. And Boutte, he did miss 3 ball games, but now he's been back the last couple weeks. Week 12 at Cincinnati, 2 catches, 15 yards. In week 13, versus the Giants, 4 catches, 35 yards, a touchdown. So they went in by, in week 14, was this New England Patriot team. Boutte on the year, he has 6 touchdowns. So he's been a deep ball threat and a red zone threat. And this week versus the Buffalo Bills, big division matchup over there in the AFC East. We know they're going to have to put points on the board once again as New England. And I think Boutte could be a surprising option where he does find the end zone once again, and he's a sleeper this week. The next receiver, Luther Burden III of the Chicago Bears. So Luther Burden, his role's definitely expanded over the last few weeks, where it looks like to me the odd man out right now is DJ Moore, and Odunze to start the week was limited in practice. So we'll see if he plays or not, even though the injury at first was listed week to week with Odunze. The last few weeks for Burden, week 12 versus Pittsburgh, a carry, 15 yards, 3 catches, 46 yards. Week 13 at Philly, 4 catches, 33 yards, a carry, 3 yards. In week 14 at Green Bay, a carry, 3 yards, 4 catches, 67 yards. So this week on paper, not a great matchup versus the Cleveland Browns. They give up the 3rd least amount of fantasy points to wide receivers on the season, but they're using them in different formations. I think Ben Johnson wants to use him like a Jameson Williams type, where he had him obviously in Detroit as the offensive coordinator. And like I said, to me, if Dunze in or out of the lineup, Burden, I think, is a decent sleeper option, where we really haven't seen much from DJ Moore for this season. And the final wide receiver, Adonai Mitchell with the New York Jets, out there in tons of leagues at 81%, is Adonai Mitchell. Young wide receivers over here for this New York Jet team. But this week on paper, a decent matchup at the Jaguars, 14th most fantasy points to wide receivers on the season. I know this New York Jet team, it's been a bad season once again. Garrett Wilson, though, there's no timetable for his return, and he's probably out for the season. And John Mechie, the only other wide receiver going out there for this New York Jet team in the starting lineup and making some plays at times. The last few weeks, here for Mitchell, week 12 of Baltimore, 2 catches, 42 yards. Week 13 versus Atlanta, breakout game, 8 catches, 102 yards, a touchdown. And week 14 versus Miami, a catch, 24 yards. So the targets have been there for Mitchell, especially the last 3 weeks. He's going out there and getting a lot of targets with 25 targets in 3 games. So volume's there for Mitchell. This is going to be a game most likely they're trailing and have to chase points. And I think this week he could bounce back after a down week last week. He's Mitchell. So that's a few wide receivers I have as sleepers for week 15 of the fantasy football season.